Hey guys, in this episode, I'm going to cover another funding opportunity, which is Epic MegaGrants. I've applied a couple of times, but this time I put in a little more effort, and I just wanted to document how I did it, how I submitted it, and walk you through, and then keep our fingers crossed, hopefully with some good news. I'm a little bummed out because today is March 20th, so it's closed, so I can't open the form to show like what I had done a couple of days ago. It's March 20th, which is today, but due to the local time, it's currently closed. So in any case, Epic MegaGrants is a program that invests in promising new projects for the community as they push real-time 3D development to new heights. So if you've never heard of an Epic MegaGrant, this is why it interests me. They are known for funding promising indie games, in particular for open source projects or for 3D, giving back to the 3D community. And then I think that's a good fit for me because everything I do, or a big part of what I do, is try to give back by posting long form tutorials and the development journey, all within Unreal Engine and from a business aspect too, like pitch deck reviews and Steam page launches and now Epic MegaGrant. So that's kind of my perspective, and I'm working in Unreal Engine, and that's why I thought, well, let's kind of go through what I submitted. So like I mentioned, I can't open the actual form, but I found a short video by this YouTuber, Madiox UE, who's got a really nice short under 10-minute video with his recommendations on how to apply. But basically, when the next application cycle opens, what you would do is open and find a form similar to this. And then in the top section is applicant information. It's very basic stuff like how did you hear about us, personal contact information, and then it starts getting a little bit into more details as to the project information. So for me, like, how did you hear about Epic MegaGrants? What I'm going to share on the screen now is a form that I kept on the side as I was preparing to fill in the information. So the key information that I have here is, or what I submitted is, please explain how you heard about us. I was reminded through the Unreal Engine or the Epic Games Instagram page to apply for a Epic MegaGrant. So thanks to the reminder. I've already known about them for years, but that was a nice reminder. So, and then for personal contact information for the relevant social media, well, I've got activity in multiple social channels from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, and a couple of other things. So what I responded with was a link tree, so that way whoever is reviewing can kind of get their choice to decide what to select. I've set this link tree up, which is for free. At least all of the features that I'm using are for free. There are some paid options, but this has come in handy for purposes like this, and also to have a QR code handy on my phone. I really like everything for Linktree thus far with the free option. And then it asks what's a team size. I submitted less than 5. And then it asks a little bit more details specific to the project. So what kind of project? I selected it's a game falling under the other category, and then I put in it's turn-based combat. That's how I would describe the game. And then it asks for a project media link. So what I did was, where this folder lives, I can open it up. This is the file that I'm looking at now. It's stored in here. I created a folder called the Project Media Link, Epic MegaGrants. And in here, it asks for a link to media assets and a link to a build, and then the project website. So let me go back. So it asks for a project media link, which I linked out to this high folder with media assets, So I included some assets, mostly that are included from my Steam page, just for visuals to get a sense of the art direction and some recognition. I'm sure the professionals at Epic understand and can recognize that this is from Unreal Engine. So I've got a trailer here, and again, just some assets that are all in this folder here under Media Assets. And then there's also a field asking for a build link. So in one of my earlier episodes, we actually worked on preparing our first build. So I connected that here too in this folder with the Westins World first build zip. It's certainly not perfect, but I think it's enough to understand the intent. Let's see, back to our file. Then it asks for a project website. What I decided to do was upload or insert the link to my Steam page. I did this just to kind of showcase that the game is very real. It's something that we're taking seriously, and you can also just learn more about it through the Steam page. And then it asks, is your project open source and or does it give back to the 3D community? So I posted, or I replied or added to the field that I post long form content on YouTube of every important milestone, including business related content. So I share content from the perspective of someone learning game development to show that anyone can build their dream game using Unreal Engine 5. And I think actually this is a good use case of if anyone happens to come in here and look, I just realized I would have submitted a typo, a green game. Hopefully that was clear enough. And then it asks for a project elevator pitch. So I said Westins World. Oh, my thought on this was interesting because each game and game developer has an elevator pitch for their game, which I thought about including here, but I kind of twisted that and put an elevator pitch from the perspective of pitching to win an Epic MegaGrant. So it's very different than a traditional elevator pitch for a game. So I said Westins World will be a success story of an indie developer without programming or art experience, achieving commercial and industry success through Unreal Engine. Westins World will be fun, inspiring, and highly accessible. That's my elevator pitch for Epic MegaGrant. And then it asks for full project details. So I responded with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 project details and the next steps that I plan to take. So I talked high level about the story and what the game is about. And then my next steps, which revolves highly around my experience at GDC and starting to connect with the people that I met at GDC. And then kind of pitching again more so what the next steps and objectives that I have are for the game. And then it asks, there was a field to please tell us more about the unique features of your project. So I said, I believe my core gameplay loop and business plan are unique because I wanted to highlight the giving back to the 3D community. So I talked about the core gameplay loop, blending classic turn-based combat with a modern exploration mode to interact with enemies and environments. And then from a narrative perspective, the game merges science fiction and fantasy with a creative universe. And then I started talking a little bit about pitching my social channels and why they're a bit unique. And then my objectives of accessibility, to target a very low price because I want the game to be financially accessible. So I said, through both the game itself and my development journey behind it, I hope that Westins World will inspire curious game developers that want to learn Unreal Engine. That was my closing for that field. Please tell us about the unique features of your project. So not just the game, but in my opinion, we're working on a project. And then what funding range are you requesting for this project? I said between $5,000 and $25,000. And then in the next section, it asks, how do you plan to use the funds for this project? Please include a high-level budget. In other words, X funding for developer training, hiring UE engineers, etc. I'm not going to show on screen what I entered next, but in summary, I asked through some calculations for $15,000 in that range, and that's going to help me reach the vertical slice stage. I have asked for more in my pitch decks, but as far as a grant goes, that's what I'm really hoping for. And I think that's really going to help me. I don't want to show that because I did a pretty detailed breakdown about this length of what my next steps are, which is to connect with a systems designer, and then I'm going to migrate that design over to a small team that I met at GDC to help build out that systems design, working with me. That way I get a full understanding of how it's built, and we'll work hand in hand. It's not so much just a handoff, but much more a collaboration. And then to continue working with our environment team and increase that work as well, because my environment team is super awesome, and I think he deserves to be rewarded. So I'm trying to increase the budget for his side too, and then additional polishing things like what's it called, music and art and some things like that. So that was that question to the budget. It was about this detailed in length, and I ran through the calculations. I said that would last me probably about 3 months at $15,000 based on my calculations. And I guess that's a little bit different than the pitch deck too, because the pitch deck is that 40,000 ask was for a lot longer scope, but this is just to really give me some nice encouragement and funding support for looking 3 months out. So again, there was a lot of kind of questions at the beginning, some simple stuff like what's your project name, project media link, project build link, project website. That's what I talked about here. And then I think I shared everything else. So I've got my media assets, my project build link, my Epic MegaGrants, the pitch deck to publishers. And then I made sure in my Google Drive to right click here, you go to the share and share, of course, and you can share the edit access. So that is what I submitted for Epic MegaGrants. Wish me luck. I'm sorry I kind of blew it here. I wanted to have my own file up or application up and show what I submitted or what the questions look like, but we've got Madiox here walking through. Here's again just same questions though. Project elevator pitch, full project details. Please tell us some more features of the project. So thanks to Madiox, at least we get some sort of visual, and it's a really good video too. It's 8 minutes long. That's it for today. Wish me luck. Thanks, guys.